Wait. Yeah. All right, cool. There we go. Welcome to another episode of the Keeg Talks. The Keeg Talks, Stranger Things Season 4, Volume 1, technically, because the whole season is not out yet. I'm your host, Dimitri Pereira. I got two awesome guests that are going to be talking with me about this season and, past seasons and everything. Both of which who have already been on the Keeg before in some sort of capacity many, many, many times. First of all, let me introduce Ryan Terhune. Ryan, what's up? Ginger Snark.
Ginger Snark. Not a lot. Just rain and hoping summer comes soon. Not the Pacific Northwest, so just dealing with that right now. Summer blues.
It's raining right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like literally right now?
Yeah. It's like light drizzle, but yeah.
Okay. I haven't been outside because I'm under house arrest right now. It's sunny outside, but I'm in California, so who would have thought California would be sunny and Seattle would be rainy? Who would have thought?
Never heard of it. Yeah.
Midway, between California and Seattle, Washington. We got Justice Davis. Justice,
Literally.
How you doing?
Good, man. How about you?
I'm getting over my sickness, but you're in Oregon.
Yeah. So funny enough, just before we started here, I realized that Ginger Snap Ryan was in Seattle and you're in California. So I'm literally midway.
Yeah.
Same as Ryan. Just waiting for the sun to show up. I have no hope. It has been raining for the last 2 days. So it's kind of a bummer. Yeah. But for me, I should be changing my tune in a couple of days. I'm going to be moving out to LA.
Yeah.
I'm driving out on Thursday morning. We're going. So I should be there hopefully by Friday.
Are you driving alone?
No, I was going to go with my cousin, but then my cousin had work. And so I'm dragging my poor mom with me.
Is she going to drive back up?
No, she's going to take a plane.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
Yeah, she's just driving down with me, and then she's going to stay, help me kind of adjust for a couple days, and then she's going to come back here.
Yeah, that's cool. A lot of changes going on right now, Changes in the air. It's rebranding season. I don't know.
Yeah.
Speaking of rebranding season, Ryan is Ginger Snark, not Ginger Snap, but...
Oh,
common mistake.
But Ryan may be like, hey, maybe I'll change it to Ginger Snap.
I mean, I get Ginger Shark a lot and Ginger Snack a lot. So I got my fair pick of usernames.
I feel like
Ginger Snap would be copywritten, I feel.
Probably.
Well, Ginger Snap is just a cookie thing, right? So I don't know whether it's a brand or a type of cookie. But we'll have to look into that. I'll get our lawyers involved, and we'll look into things.
I think that's smart.
Yeah. But it's rebranding season, so if you got to change your usernames, change them now.
I know. I've known a few people recently that changed their usernames.
I was gonna say I was getting the itch to like do new profile pictures and like change everything up. I'm like, I wonder why. It's rebranding season.
Yeah. I've been trying to spice up not spice up, but switch my content a little bit because my page, I mainly focus on like Marvel-ish, like Marvel, DC sometimes.
Yeah.
But there's just so much content right now with Star Wars, with Stranger Things, with like The Boys, other shows coming out. And so it's like, I want to talk about those things too. So, and make jokes on those things. So I've been finding myself doing more of that, which is interesting.
It's weird because Stranger Things 4 Volume 1 dropped on the same day that the first 2 episodes of Obi-Wan dropped.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, everything's really, like, crazy right now.
There's a lot going on right now.
Coming out, yeah.
It's kind of overwhelming.
As a consumer, it's overwhelming. And then for me as as trying to essentially report and schedule programming that's around these premieres and whatever is really like Miss Marvel and Obi-Wan come out on the same day, same time when they do overlap. So I have to like figure out my after shows. That Gatorade looks delicious. Ryan, I want it.
Wait, what's the flavor? Is it Glacier Freeze?
It is, yeah.
Yes, I love Glacier
Any
Freeze.
of those blue flavors, I'm just like, I don't care. It could be a light blue. It could be that blue. It could be that, like, the blue.
I hadn't had Gatorade in, like, 13, 14 years, because growing up, I didn't like it at all. And then recently I was like, water's not cutting it. I need something else. So I asked people I knew, I was like, what is the best Gatorade flavor to get? Because I remember I don't like it. So I want to get best of the best. That's what everybody said. Glacier Freeze.
Yeah.
I had a coworker who would always specifically request whenever I'd go to lunch, hey man, can you run and get me a Glacier Freeze when you go to the store? I'm like, I got you. Yeah. I got you.
I would just also like to point out that I am very color coordinated with everything going on right now. I've got green and green, blue and blue.
Oh, yeah.
There's more green and blue back there. Yeah.
Was this intentional?
No.
It's a happy accident.
Ryan
That's
just
the
kind of
best.
falls into it. Yeah.
I own a lot of blue and green stuff. Yeah. Oh, purple with purple nails and green as well. So we're just
seriously.
Yeah, very
very matchy.
With Stranger Things coming out on the same day as Obi-Wan, and then like there's The Boys, obviously there's like a lot of things that we gotta like we'll end up covering
too,
you know, at some point. The thing that was different about this season is that they split this season into two, right?
Yep.
Which to me signals either an ongoing shift or the end. And I know it's not the end. I know it's not the last season. But like Mission Impossible for the new one is doing a two-parter. And that just reminds me of Harry Potter when they did a two-parter for the final movie. And Mockingjay did the same thing. And like, why are they doing it? Unless from now on Stranger Things is going to do like release them in volumes. But
I had heard that season 5 is supposed to be the last season. I don't know for sure, but I heard that.
That makes sense.
And I didn't realize that until because my friends and I, we have like a spoiler group chat we have a main group chat and then spoiler group chats for shows that like some of them haven't watched. But in the spoiler one, they were saying that there was a season 5. And for the longest time, up until like a couple days ago, literally, I thought this was the final season, which made sense for the part 2. And the finale too for part 2 is supposed to be over 2 hours. So I thought this is the end. But then they were like, no, there's a 5th season that they just announced. And I looked it up. Lo and behold, it's confirmed there's a 5th season. So, I mean, so it's not the end, but like it seems like it is.
Yeah, but that's like every season of Stranger Things is like, it's supposed to be like the epic end. And they don't say it's going to be the end, but it's like always like, how are they going to top it next time? They got to find a way, you know?
Because even the Vecna seems like kind of the final boss level, like how much more powerful, like Ella's met her match with him.
Right. But Vecna's not supposed to be the boss, right?
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Like they said,
the guard.
He's the general to the Mind Flayer that we saw in season 2 and season 3, right?
Right.
In Will's visions, yeah.
But like, okay. I don't know. How do you guys feel about that? Because
it's hard to keep all the villains straight and like organized.
Yeah.
Like the Demogorgon was season 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And there were multiple, right?
Yeah.
Were there? I only remember.
Or was there one in season 1?
I think there was only one.
And then I think you're thinking of the dogs.
The season 2 was the Demodogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were multiples of those guys.
And Dustin had one as a pet, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Classic Dustin.
Yeah.
But by the way, that one that he had as a pet didn't end up being nice, right? Like it's still, they killed it?
No, because it escaped. They were going to kill it and it escaped. And then they met him in the tunnels. And he's like, no, that's I forgot what he named it, Dodd or something like that.
Okay.
They're like, that's my dog. And it didn't attack him. I think.
And then what happened?
I ran away.
Oh.
Never to be seen again.
So it's still out there somewhere.
I think so. I might be misremembering it. I'm very bad with season 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Same. We were just talking about how we kind of like, because they both like they're obviously very different, but there's also a lot of similarities that kind of bleed into the other, which is the point. But like it's yeah, I'm the same way. I feel like season 2 and 3 I get mixed together.
Yeah. Well, season 2 and 3 get mixed together, in my opinion, because they both have Max and Billy. Like Max and Billy get introduced in season 2. Billy doesn't do anything in season 2 other than just be like weird, vaguely racist, like
be a jerk.
Yeah.
And then.
Okay, so I think season 2, didn't the Mind Flayer like try to get to Will?
Yeah, that's the one where Will
and they had to
possessed.
They had to like heat up the room to get it out and things like that. To try to like sweat it out pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think like some small part of it got into Billy at the end of season 2, and then season 3 happened with Billy being possessed.
What was it? The end of season 2 or the beginning of season 3? Because like I think the beginning of season 3 has Billy as the lifeguard. He's season 3 starts off with Billy as the lifeguard, and he's like, "Hey, Nancy's mom, got it going on."
Yeah.
And then he gets like sucked down into that basement or whatever, right?
Yeah.
That's beginning of season 3.
That's beginning of season 3. I don't know what the teaser at the end of season 2 was. I don't remember.
I don't remember either. Or I don't remember either.
Yeah.
I thought I did, but no.
The problem with Stranger Things is that it takes so long between seasons. And I think they count on us rewatching these seasons. But, like, I don't think the every person does. The Stranger Things big fans do.
Have you watched the Netflix recap that they have on, like, YouTube of all the seasons? Netflix and Stranger Things put out, like, a recap, which we watched, my husband and I watched before watching season 4. And it was horrible. It was a horrible recap. They're just like showing these clips. And I'm like, all right, I vaguely remember this character. Right. I don't remember how they got in this situation or how they get out of that situation.
I recommend Man of Recaps on YouTube. Man of Recaps. I
looked up another one after season 4 because I was like, I still don't remember half of this stuff.
Yeah.
That's why it was frustrating with season 3, because for season 1 and 2, when I looked up the recaps, IGN, they have like the Stranger Things season 1 or Stranger Things season 2 in 5 minutes. And so they do a pretty good job of like explaining the big pieces in there. But then for season 3, they didn't put one on. And so I was trying to find season 3 recap. And the only one I kept seeing was the Netflix one. And like Ryan was saying, when I watched the Netflix one, it was like, it didn't show me anything. It just showed me like the kids. And
it's kind of like a trailer more than a recap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man of Recaps, though, he does the recaps, so, and he talks through them, so, and he doesn't like make fun per se, like it's not like an honest trailers kind of thing, you know?
Yeah,
it's an actual
with like the side comments and commentary and stuff.
Yeah, it's an actual recap, so there you go. For future recap purposes, but I think it's just because there's so many years in between each season, because season 1 came out in 2016.
Is it that long ago?
And it's 2022 now, right? So, what was it? 2016, then probably 2018, then 2020, then 2022.
And this is all supposed to take place in,
I think, a span of like
2
years.
2 years?
Yeah.
3 years?
Yeah. I like how all the kids went from being like 12 to like now the actors are like in their 20s.
Yeah.
I forget how they look like as babies, but like
I saw someone share pictures of like season 1, season 2, and I was just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well, even the jump from last season to this season seemed like the biggest jump, because everyone's like weird and awkward. You know, like,
and
the season before it, they had that like cute like mall makeover kind of thing, and that was like cute. They were little kids, and then now they're like,
Even with like the older teens, you can kind of tell like you're like, they don't look 19. They look like they're at least like 23, 24. Like,
to be fair though, Nancy never looked 19. Like, she's kind of been looking older. She kind of
stayed the same.
Yeah.
I don't think she looked young. But definitely who doesn't look young is what's his name?
Eddie?
Jonathan.
Oh, Jonathan.
Jonathan looked 40 for years.
Yeah.
I was about to say he kind of looks the same too.
Will also was one of the big ones that I was like, he changed a lot.
He changed. Yeah. I think he was the most noticeable, I feel like, with the kids.
Like
he had to grow up.
Mike is looking... I tweeted, I was like, why is Mike looking like Barb and Star go to Vista Del Mar? Like, he's dressed up like them when he goes to that rink. And I'm like, I don't know what age Mike is. Like, he looks like... Is he a middle-aged lesbian? I don't know. Like, what's his vibe? There's a lot of vibes going on.
There's so many different vibes.
I can't tell. Like, how old is Mike?
I don't know. Because, I mean, obviously, like, Elle and Will, I think they're like established that they're sophomores. I don't even know. They don't even really tell us.
Well, they definitely, they made sure that like Dustin and Lucas and them, they're all like, they're sophomores.
Right.
Yeah.
They just got into high school.
Right. I feel like Lucas and Max are the two that are aging very gracefully, which is great for them, which is also the pairing that I ship. Like, great. They seem like they're growing like normal adults. The rest of the kids, well, not the rest. If I'm making fun of kids, how old are they now? They're all older than 18, right? Can I make fun of them?
I think they're all older than 18. Okay. I think they're all like in their... I think Millie is like 18 at least. So like she just turned 18. So yeah.
I'm just... And this is fine. I was the same way growing up. When kids grow up, they don't always grow up like from point A to point B. Sometimes they grow up looking like the Mind Flayer from season 3, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes, or it's just like that.
Yeah.
That was me. I grew up ugly duckling all the way up until college, and I'm like changed. So
people are like, wait, because that was me too. People are like, wait a minute.
They look back at pictures. They're like, something not matching up here.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I was like heavy in like high school, and then I thinned out and got in shape afterwards. So then people are like, wait, is that you? I'm like, yeah. I didn't peak in high school. Sorry. Yeah, like
always improving.
Like, yeah.
I feel bad for people who peak in high school.
Right?
There's a lot of life after high school.
Truly.
Most of your life is after high school.
Yeah. Yeah. Unless you live in Hawkins.
Apparently.
And then
apparently.
Yeah. This season, grotesque. Is this season the grossest season?
Okay. Yeah. That was the thing. See, the episode 1, we were sitting there because all the way up until now, it's been TV 14. And we watched episode 1, and my husband and I we're like, this is not TV 14. Like, there is no way. And we looked it up, and they changed it to TV mature for this
Oh, did they?
season. Yeah.
This season.
Yeah.
This season only.
Because this whole season has been...
Oh, so graphic.
It's horrific the way he kills his victims.
Yeah. No, we were watching at the very first death. We were like, okay, that's not TV 14.
This doesn't feel like the Goonies anymore. This does not feel fun.
I assumed, I don't know why I assumed, but like I was just like, Chrissy's not gonna die, right? Like they can save people, but then I think ever since Barb in the first season, I kept being like, they're gonna save Barb, but they never saved Barb. I'm just used to like, okay, the only people who die are the people who like kind of deserve it. But that's not the case in Hawkins.
No. And it's definitely, I think I feel like it's kind of set the tone for it too, for season 4, to where it's kind of showing you, okay, so like people that you kind of know and love will potentially die, and die horrifically at that. But like, because again, like people are now predicting Steve's gonna die, which I mean, knowing that there's a season 4 or a season 5, I feel like I think he'll survive. But before thinking that this was the final season, I was like, yeah, they're going to kill him off. But yeah, I feel like it's definitely set the tone for this season, kind of showing that, like, you know, someone you'd least expect to die might potentially die in this season, opposed to other seasons where you're like, no, I don't think they will. I don't think they'll go there.
I had no idea how they were going to save Max up until they were like the music. And then I'm like, oh, okay, great. Now we know she'll be saved. Great. Up until that point, I'm like, it's coming. It's coming. How are we getting out of this?
Yeah, I was legit scared for a little bit. I was like, are they gonna, you know, like try to pull one of those nobody safe kind of thing and just off such a favorite character?
Right.
Like a Game of Thrones moment.
Yeah, I was like, are they gonna like really do that? Or
yeah, because even the moment too, like when they were playing the music and Vecna still had her and she started raising in the cemetery, I was like, no. I was like, is this about to be like a red wedding type of thing? And then luckily though, she survived. But it had me going. I thought Max was about to die.
Yeah. Just like every other Stranger Things season, there's all these plot lines, and then like the gang will get back together at the end to like do everything, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of how it works. What are the different plot lines we're dealing with right now?
We've got Vecna in Hawkins. We've got
Vecna and Hawkins.
Yeah, we've got Joyce.
The clock stuff.
The clock stuff. Yeah. We've got Joyce going to save Hopper.
Yeah. By the way, when you said Joyce going to save Hopper, it sounded like Joyce. Did that sound kind of like Winona Ryder's voice?
Oh,
yeah.
I sounded like Joyce.
You sounded like Joyce.
I was like, because I did say Joyce.
No, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what?
You sounded like Joyce.
Haven't heard that. Actually, no. Actually, I think someone has commented that on one of my videos before. They're like, you sound like Winona Ryder.
Maybe it's the way you said Hopper.
Hopper, yeah.
Hopper.
Could have.
Well, you're also from the Midwest too, right?
Yeah.
See.
It pokes through every once in a while.
Is Winona Ryder from the Midwest?
Potentially.
Or did she just did she change her voice for this? I don't know. Anyway, sorry, continue.
No, you're good. I was going to say we have that plot line, and then we have Elle getting her powers back.
Yeah.
Plot line.
Oh, and we have the boys on the run. And we got
the boys, yeah.
Yeah.
The road trip.
The road trip.
To Susie's.
That's right. So, I mean, we'll break down each of those, but what's been your favorite out of those plot lines?
Probably Vecna. The stuff in Vecna.
Yeah.
That's the one when it cuts away to other storylines, and I'm like, gosh dang it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm like, I don't need to see them driving in the street getting high. I care, but not right now. Yeah, like it's getting good. Bring me back there. Bring me back.
Yeah. What's been your least favorite? I know mine.
Least favorite.
My least favorite is 11 getting her powers back.
Really?
I care. They dragged that out for so many episodes. Every single episode when they would go back to but not much happened.
I would agree.
I see that. I did really like getting more history on her, how she got her powers.
Right.
What happened, because they teased at the very beginning there was the massacre scene, and they made us all think that Elle did it, and I was like, oh, okay.
Don't mess with her.
I was like, oh, she might be a little unstable. I don't know.
Right.
And yeah, just getting to see what actually happened. I like that.
Yeah.
I don't think there were any plot lines that I was like, because I read a lot of books that do the separate plot lines, and there's always that one chapter or character you get to and you're like, can I skip this? Is that okay?
Right.
I didn't feel that with any of these plot lines.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. I will say that I was interested in all of them. I was invested in each one, but I would say the one that drug the most would be Elle's storyline.
Yeah.
But that was just because again, I do feel like it just kind of extended throughout each episode that some parts felt unnecessary. But like, again, when you bring in that twist element at the end, that's when I was hooked. I was like, ooh, I could appreciate this now.
Yeah.
Like the slow burn of it.
I liked that, but it was a slow burn. And for me, the 11 plot line is essentially, I'll just tell you all the points of it. It's other psychic kids are jealous of Elle. They try to kill her. They fail, and they're going to kill her again. And then, you know, the Vecna, number one, spoiler, number one is like, let's get you out of here, but then like tricks her into taking the thing out. Great. But did that have to be 5 episodes?
Yeah.
Like,
it's hard though.
What else happens other than that?
Because then I feel like people would have been like, if they didn't have those full episodes, people would have been like, it was too rushed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I could see myself saying that.
If they had just rushed it into like 1 or 2 things, then the reveal of one being Vecna, I don't think would have been, because you wouldn't have built that kind of like, this is kind of a cool guy. Like he's obviously cares about Elle and is like trying to get her out and all this stuff. I don't.
Clearly,
go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, because clearly the whole plot line obviously was a background of Elle and her character, but then also just Elle in her relationship with who we now know is one, and building that trust, making you think, okay, he's a good guy, he's helping her, and then realizing, oh, wait, no.
It was secretly also background for Vecna, and nobody knew it until that twist. So that was you kind of got like a dual plot lines thing going on there, which was cool.
I never thought he was good.
You never thought he was good?
No, look at him.
He gave off pretty creepy vibes. I will say that.
If you ever in real life or in a movie even, but in real life, if you ever come across a guy like that, don't trust him.
If he looks like this at everybody,
he has hair. You know
the way he stands too. He like just the whole positioning of he's very sketchy.
Right.
And it's funny because at the beginning too, I didn't think that he was going to play such a crucial role. But then like, I want to say like the last, like the episode and the final episode, I was like, I remember because I was texting Ellie, who comes on the podcast too. I was texting her during it and I was like, ooh, I'm getting shady vibes. I don't like him. And then I saw him at the powers and I was like, ooh, he's one. Yeah, get him. Ooh, kill him. And then I realized, oh no, he's bad. And I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I went through like a roller coaster of emotions. Like I was like iffy of him, rooting for him, and then immediately I was like, no, you're bad.
I knew he was shady, and then when he brought up, I knew what his end game was when he brought up the thing. When he
as soon as he pointed that out, that was like
oh. Okay.
I see this. I got it.
At first, I thought he was a figment of her imagination until they tortured him, like when they like punished him, and then I was like, oh, that's right, he's not. But at the beginning, I was like, okay, he's a figment of her imagination.
Yeah.
But no, I feel like that plot line dragged, but I feel like the wasted plot line is the boys on the road trip. I don't know what they're doing with it, but it was nice to see them, but then they would like disappear for a whole episode.
Yeah. Like they were funny and entertaining, but like it was just you like what you said, it kind of felt like there was a lot of potential that was there that could have been added, but just wasn't.
Right.
Felt kind of like they're just like, okay, we can't have these characters in these other plot lines. How can we keep them out of it? And they just kind of made a little road trip storyline.
On the run from killers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Argyle, I think, is the best.
Hilarious.
Oh, he's hilarious.
Yeah. He's great.
Because he's the normal person. Like, you take an abnormal like in real life, he's the abnormal person because he's just like, he's the stoner. But then you put him in this situation, he's the normal person, right?
Yeah, and everyone else is like trying to talk sense into him, but like there's no sense.
Yeah, because they're talking nonsense.
Yeah. And he's like, none of this makes sense. And they're like, yes, it does. Just go get high and chill for a second. He's like, okay. But yeah, I love Argyle. I've not met one person who's watched this season that doesn't mention that like he's one of their favorites now.
Right. Mm-hmm. But again, he's barely used.
Mm-hmm. Which again, there's a lot of potential with his character. So I hope he survives this season so we could see more of him next season.
I wouldn't mind him being a character that like knows about the Upside Down and stuff, but isn't directly involved in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think he's a good side character.
Yeah.
Right. Because what's up to All Day Show out there? All Day Show on,
Ellie, what's
on
up?
Twitch. Oh, is that Ellie?
Yeah, she changed her name.
Okay, yeah. No, I saw that. I forgot. Yeah. Argyle will have his moment in Volume 2. Yeah, probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Watch Argyle pull a Susie and like he saves the day.
Well, Susie is another character that like is detached enough that like they can kind of anchor the scene, right? Like they're like in real life. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, she saved the day without knowing what was going on.
True, yeah, because she has no idea. She just thinks she's helping her Dusty.
The whole Nintendo game giveaway thing. I was very confused for a minute, and then I was like, wait, she doesn't know anything about this stuff.
I almost forgot too.
Her.
Wait, what is this?
So when they went to Susie for help with finding Elle, because they had the phone code or whatever that they needed to track. Mm-hmm. And they brought it to her and they were like, they're like, it's for the secret like Nintendo game console giveaway that nobody knows about that we're trying to get for Dustin as like a gift. I was confused. I was confused as to why they were saying all that because I thought last season I was like, oh, she saved the world. She knows everything about the Upside Down. She has no idea.
No.
Yeah, I totally spaced that too until then it clicked to me when I think it was after Argyle was like American Nintendo or something. And then Mike was like, yeah, that's a dumb name. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, she doesn't know. So it took a minute for it to click. But which is makes it kind of more funny because she saved the world, but like she doesn't realize it.
Mm-hmm.
What is up with that house?
Which is hers?
Yeah.
Isn't she Mormon? Her family's Mormon?
Yeah.
All the kids. Yeah.
It was giving very Home Alone. But like make it multiple kids. Like as far as like the antics and everything. There's just like there was a lot going on.
There's a lot. And then the dad, is there no mom? There's no mom?
I was wondering that too. I don't know if mom's on vacation or if it's just dad.
I don't know.
But
that would suck for dad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it seems like it sucks for him because those kids are crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the literal. She looks like Ali Sheedy from Breakfast Club.
Mm-hmm.
Eden.
Eden. Yeah.
Yeah. Like the garden.
Who Argyle is in love with.
Yeah. Which is because she's her cousin, right? She's not her sister.
No, it's her sister, right?
No, I thought they were all siblings.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which was kind of the thing. They're like, oh, orphan families, lots of kids. Like,
right.
That was kind of the joke, I guess. And how they were all doing different, like Eden was talking about she had babysitting detail, the two kids in the kitchen that were cooking, like they all had their own thing they had to do.
Yeah.
Well, there was a lot going on there, but it was interesting. It was just weird.
The whole like trying to get the dad out of the office and distracted plan, that was great.
Yeah.
Like you said, very Home Alone vibes of just like, yeah.
And I felt like it tied into like the intro when they got into the house, you know what I mean? So then like, you're kind of wondering when they first enter the house, like, okay, these kids are crazy. What's the point of all this? And then you realize, okay, no, this is perfect for a distraction.
Right. Now I have to think back on like, it's not just 7 episodes in this volume 1. It's because some of these episodes were long, right?
A lot of them are long. They were
I wasn't able to
over an hour, right?
Yeah, I wasn't able to binge them all in one day. It took me a few days to actually like get through all of them because after one or two, I was like, I'm tapping out.
Right.
I can't. Yeah, it's just too much.
I can't see one more pair of eyeballs. Like,
yeah, just pop in.
Yeah, like we were talking about like how grotesque this season is, and it's like Chrissy's
scene was
poor
the
Chrissy.
worst.
Chrissy didn't do anything. You know what I mean? Like she didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
You know?
She was just confused.
Yeah.
Like at least the second kid, it was annoying.
Yeah,
and
so
like,
I was kind of like, he can go.
Like
that was my husband. He's like, as soon as the first vision happened, he's like, yes. I was like, you really hate him that much?
Like, I don't wish death on any of these on any of these characters, but at the same time, like Chrissy was innocent, like completely,
she was likable
and likable.
Yeah,
very
likable.
And like, you know, and then the third one, I thought the third one was gonna be what's his name from the bad guys, but he ends up being number 4 after Max fails.
Yeah.
What's his name? But I've like, at least for that, I'm like, well, he's with the bad guys,
the jocks.
but like he also seemed like he didn't do anything either. So then I'm like,
I mean, none of them seemed guilty of doing anything too bad. Like the annoying kid, because he was talking about the guilt and stuff of some kind of car crash or something. Like, you know, even if it was like a drunk driving accident or something like that, and someone died, it's his fault. But like, he's a kid.
No, right?
You
know? And that's something that I'm still kind of curious to know, because of course we have like a bit of the motives, but like we don't know the full, I feel like, reason or motive of Vecna for what he's doing with like specifically targeting teens. Because it seems
trauma.
like he's literally targeting teens that have lost hope.
Yeah.
So it's like actually kind of sad. But
go ahead.
They haven't all lost hope. They're like
well,
Max was losing hope fast.
But Chrissy didn't lose hope, and the second guy didn't lose hope. They were just it was just trauma, like trauma or guilt or shame or whatever.
My theory was that it's easier for him to reach in and influence people with trauma or guilt. Because there is one scene where it shows him like going through in the Upside Down and seeing all these people. Like, you know, with their different problems. And you don't see like perfectly healthy people there. Like it was a woman, you know, covering up bruises and doing this sort of thing. And it's probably just like not like a weaker mind sort of thing, but like they're distracted and it's easier to slip in that way.
I think it's also easier to manipulate. It's, you know,
like with people. The visions and all that stuff, it's a lot easier.
And so I wonder too, because you're right, because when he was doing that, he wasn't just targeting, like when he was looking at kids, it wasn't just kids. He was also looking at like adults and different people. So I wonder if it's not just teens, if it's just people in general that have trauma or experiencing trauma that he targets.
Right.
And you might be going with teens because they're less experienced and, you know, again, more open to manipulation. So
right.
Yeah.
Well, just like he manipulated 11, she was just a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, what a creep.
Yeah.
Also, what's up with every dark wizard losing their nose?
Right? I saw people saying like Voldemort.
It's the first thing you sacrifice. It's part of the thing. You just gotta.
Yeah. Oh, you want to be evil but really powerful? Okay, well, that nose though.
Yeah.
You gotta do something about that nose.
Gotta go, bud.
Yeah.
Give it here.
Give it.
That being said, I don't know whose face I hate more, him with the nose and just like as a human, or as Vecna, because
Vecna for sure.
He's creepy both ways, but definitely Vecna.
Vecna, I could be like,
is wormy.
If Vecna said, "Hey, you're cool, dude. Like, I'm sorry," I'd be like, "Okay, I accept it." But with the one guy, I would have been like, "Nah, I still hate your face, dude."
Yeah.
I mean, the like shots of Vecna's feet, like under the stall and stuff like that. Like, I was like, no.
No, instant no.
It's a no from me.
Yeah, it's a no from me, dog. Like, Yeah, even if you were friendly, I'd be like, no.
I think either version, if they're like, oh no, everything's fine, I'd be like, yeah, no, it's not. I can tell.
Yeah. Or remember like when he was hugging, well, Max's mom was hugging Max and then it turned into Vecna.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Hated that. It's like you can almost, that's one of those scenes you can almost smell.
It's
like,
sketchy.
The decay and everything too. You're just like,
Yeah.
Really bad.
Ugh. I've been the most invested in the Hopper scenes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's the most invested. I'm like, I need him to escape. But then I know that he's going to fight the Demogorgon. We saw it in the trailer spoiled a couple things, actually.
I did not get spoiled because I don't watch trailers.
That is smart. That is very smart.
No, I need to watch the trailers. Like, I have.
It's tough being a content creator and not watching trailers because then you're like, I can't talk about these things as they're happening. But as a viewer, it's fantastic.
But then everything spoils, you know?
Yeah.
The moment something drops,
there is one scene that's in the trailer that hasn't happened yet. I think there's only one, as far as I can see.
Is it the one with Eddie playing?
Yeah, it's you're fine.
Oh, is it fine? Yeah, it's Justice.
Oh,
it's
okay,
that.
No,
I mean we could talk about it. Is that Ryan's cool?
Yeah,
with that?
You're.
There's
fine.
a scene with him on the trailer playing guitar.
With who on the trailer?
Eddie.
That would make sense with the whole music thing. So
yeah, so it's like he's gonna play music to like to get through to people.
You think maybe his band or something?
Well, it's not his whole. I mean, it's him. Like I think in the background there's lightning, there's thunder. It seems like it's the Upside Down, but it could just be like Vecna coming in, and he's playing guitar to like get through to people.
Okay, so my issue with Eddie, I like Eddie a lot. He's a very likable character. With him being blamed for the murders, like even if he survives the season, because they're not gonna like be like, oh, it was a magical dark wizard that did all this. You're free to go. Like someone's got to take.
They'll find something else to blame it on and absolve him of
you
the
think
crime.
So?
They have to, unless you think Eddie's just gonna die.
I hope not. I like him, but I can see it happening.
I don't like him.
You don't?
You don't like Eddie?
I don't.
Is it his energy?
Yeah, I didn't like him from the first episode. It's not about like him being like over dramatic dungeon master. That part's cool. It was when he's at the cafeteria and like he just like rough handles Mike and Will, and I'm like, the guy just seems like he wants to be the leader of his own like group of
dungeon master, leader, lead singer in the band. That's definitely his personality.
Yeah, but what's the difference between him and the basketball captain then?
Well, that's kind of the point. Is they're not so different.
Right.
Yeah.
That being said, the basketball captain's a psychopath.
Yes. He is legitimately crazy.
Maybe a little brainwashed too.
Yeah.
Not actually, but like the whole like Dungeons and Dragons is demonic thing.
Right.
That all that stuff. Like I took growing up again in the Midwest, I understand like how that feeling is of kind of everybody telling you this thing and you're like, okay, I guess that makes sense.
Did they talk about Dungeons and Dragons back? Because I mean,
not Dungeons and Dragons, but things like Pokemon,
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter was a big one. Things like that, yeah.
But there was a huge anti-Dungeons & Dragons thing back then.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's a real thing.
Really? In the 80s?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Was it because people connected it to like
Satanism.
Demonic, like
the same way they did Harry Potter? So they're like, it's witchcraft. It's like, okay,
yeah. You're like, okay.
Personally,
those Hufflepuffs though.
My personal take is that anything popular will be linked to Satanism because it distracts your congregation from 100%. Like your own power. Like
yeah.
You know.
It's definitely an interesting It's an interesting concept of them using that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like as being like a pivotal part of like the plot.
Yeah.
But like with Eddie in the boat and the kid that ended up being killed and then the basketball captain. Like if he was so convinced that Eddie was it, I thought at first I was like, oh, he's going to see Eddie's there and obviously not doing it. And that's going to absolve Eddie from all this. That's what my mind thought. And then he was like, Eddie's a gateway. He's like, doing it for, and I was like, gosh dang it.
Yes. Cause when he goes into or no, cause I think he was talking to the cop and they started mentioning it with the cop first. But like, I had a feeling even when he went into like that congregation, like that scene, I thought he was going to vouch for Eddie. Part of me thought he was going to vouch for Eddie and be like, you know what? I know what I saw that day. And like, it's something different. It's not Eddie. It's something different, but nope. Nope. It's something different, but it's Eddie that's doing it.
Eddie.
And it's yeah.
I hate that guy.
I wonder if he's gonna. I feel like he's going to. I feel like there's no doubt that he's gonna die.
He's gonna die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
I'm cool with it. Cause also, you know what oh man, this was a weird parallel, but when they go to the band practice and they start like roughing the guys up, being like, where's Eddie? Where's Eddie? And like Lucas is there being like,
yeah,
like
I don't know who that is.
Oh man, it did seem like cops roughing up like random people trying to find, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like using their power of like being jocks and being like powerful,
right? And in their mind, they're doing the right thing. They're on a rampage.
Which makes it, that's what's always kind of interesting too with characters is like understanding that like people, like, because even with Vecna, they truly feel what they're doing is going to, is for the better. It's for like the greater good.
What's Vecna's motivation?
Vecna just thinks that humans are corrupt and like gonna ruin the earth pretty much.
So he wanted him and Elle to be able to like help fix things.
Yeah. Because his thing was like humans come in and they impose their own power systems and they mess up like the natural order of things or something like that.
Yeah.
It's funny though when people say that, those people are so self-centered to not understand that, or like they put themselves in the center of it. They're like, everybody else is messing up the natural order. I'm part of the natural order.
Except for me.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
Thanos
like, or you could just take yourself out of the equation if you really care that much.
Yeah. Like at least have a bit of ownership and be like, yeah, humans suck, but also I'm human or like I'm part of it. So like I suck too.
Right. But no, it's to make yourself feel special.
Always.
Right.
That's why whenever villains start going on their tangents, I'll be like, there's a point, but then I'm like, but like there's no accountability right now. So like you suck. Like, no.
Yeah. There's also a plot line where the the military is literally killing Americans on American soil to get to 11, right?
Yeah.
To kill 11.
I'm a little confused on that storyline.
Same.
Okay,
because I was confused too because at first I thought the two cops that they sent to watch them were a part of it, and then when I saw them come in and shoot them, I was like, okay, no, they're not. And then the whole like I don't know what that storyline is going to add, like what the impact's going to be, or like you know what I mean. Like I don't understand like why you have like all this other stuff going on, and then on top of it you have the military coming after her. It's like.
So my understanding was that the police captain, officer in Hawkins, with the first death, he called in someone in the military saying, hey, you saw this, you've seen something like this before, calling back to the massacre at Hawkins Labs, which I think they think Elle did.
Yeah, they think Elle did that.
And then they went to that one scientist, and they're like, where is she? And he's like, she's dead. The one that eventually met up with her at the diner to be like, we can get your powers back. So I don't know. It's like, it's not super crystal clear to me exactly how they got involved or so convinced that it's Elle and that she's alive.
I thought they're anyways monitoring Hawkins, right? Like, those guys are always monitoring Hawkins.
Well, they weren't there for the Russian debacle. So
Yeah.
I think they were like monitoring it, and then they closed the gate and they're like, okay, cool, we're good. We're going to pack up and leave.
Yeah.
And then the captain called them in like, hey, this is a little cuckoo.
Yeah,
eyeballs are missing. You know, like
their arms are like pretzels,
bent,
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But that would make sense. Yeah, because I think they were around for like the second season, and then after they closed the gate, they dipped. And then the Russians were the main focus on the third.
Mm-hmm.
And so, because I don't even think they're aware of the Russians at this point. Are they?
I don't
Probably
think so.
not. No.
So I thought at the end of season 3, there were all the theories that Hopper is alive, right?
Mm.
Pretty much. And I was like, oh, the gate like split open and he got transported somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's not the case.
That's not the case.
He went below.
He went below the deck, so the explosion like went over instead of hurting him, which I'm like, okay, at least makes kind of logical sense, I guess.
And the Russians came back and they found him, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was the thing that I didn't get till about halfway through the season. I was like, oh, he didn't get transported to Russia. They just came back to pick up the pieces and found him.
Yeah.
So
because after that explosion, they came in and saw that he was still on the bridge, and so they took him
in a Russian uniform.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he's he's an American spy, and so they take him away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be in the Upside Down too.
Yeah, I was like 100% he's in the Upside Down or something. And
well,
they
I knew he wasn't in the Upside
the
Down.
Gate
He's in
to
Russia.
Get him out. Yeah, well,
Oh yeah.
Now we know.
Yeah, because this isn't a spoiler, but in the trailer it did show him in Russia.
End of season 3, you see that he's in Russia.
Really?
You either see it or they say
they say something about the American.
Yeah.
That's right.
I remember. I was like, okay, Hop's alive.
Right.
But then I still thought like either he was in the like Upside Down and they're able to communicate with him, or they pulled him out in Russia.
I thought that was a portal to Russia.
That was my biggest thing, is I thought it was a portal and he got transported. So
yeah,
I will say part of me does kind of wish though that they would have saved Hop being alive for the 4th season. Like, because I mean,
not
everyone
the trailer,
already,
not the whatever. Like, don't hint.
Yeah,
at
like
it.
even I feel like it would have been more like one of those moments if they weren't to have they would have just left Hop as dead, even though we all kind of theorized that he wasn't, but just left him as dead, made us think that he was dead, didn't show him in the trailer, and then have us in that first episode get that note of like Hop's alive, and then actually seeing him. Yeah. Because I feel like because I feel like a big reason why his storyline, I'm still interested in it, but like I'm not as interested as I could have been with the fact that I know he's alive, and so I know that they're not going to kill him off again. Like I feel like if they were to have like kind of played it out a little bit longer to us thinking he's dead, and then that surprise comeback, I would have been a little more invested in his storyline for this season. Because I'm already expecting it. I already expected, okay, well, he's going to be in Russia. They're going to have to do all these different things to get back to Hawkins. But it's missing that element of anticipation or interest, I guess.
Yeah.
Did you guys like the Hopper in Russia storyline?
Yes and no.
Okay.
I liked it because it's Hopper and he's always a win.
Yeah.
And I really liked towards the end where they knew they were going to fight the Demogorgon, and he's acting drunk to get all the stuff. Like I was like, classic Hopper. This is great.
Yeah.
But I don't know. They were interrogating him, and then they were just like, well, I can't get anything out of him. Send him away to build railroads, I guess. I felt like that just didn't make much sense.
Yeah.
It kind of felt like similarly, which again, I'm glad that they're at least doing it this way, because I feel like it's better to make something more of a slow burn opposed to rush through it. At least for me, I prefer that. But I do feel like it kind of ties with L's storyline too, to where it's just kind of a lot of buildup until you get to those moments to where it's like he's about to fight the Demogorgon, and you know, like, is he going to survive? Is his like friend, even though he's not a friend, but like, you know, the guard that he's now friends with, is he going to survive? Like,
I thought he was so dead with the Demogorgon.
Same.
Like, I thought it was going to be like a last second, like, tell my son that I'm a monster slayer or something like that. I was so ready.
Yeah. I still feel like he's going to die. But
I think so too.
I don't think he's going to die a traitor, though. That's the thing. He has to clear his name, and then, you know.
Yeah, it's going to be like an honorable death.
Right. Yeah. If he's going to die,
Agreed.
he has to, like, because that's what he said. He says he could die, but he would then be dying a traitor.
Yeah, so he wants to be able to at least have some sort of redemption so that Hopper or whoever can tell his son, you know, I'm not a POC or a POC, a POS.
A POC.
Not that either.
Yeah, he's definitely not that.
Yeah, I mean, I liked the Russian related stuff for some reason.
What did you guys think of Yuri?
Which one?
Yuri's the smuggler.
Oh,
Did you like him, or was he
like
specifically
him or the storyline?
Him specifically.
I don't like him.
Okay. Did you like him before he betrayed them, or no? Because as soon as I saw they were drinking tea, I was like, there's poison in that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Some kind of drug.
Whenever a sketchy character gives another character a drink, I'm like, no.
Specifically a hot drink. Yeah.
Right.
Yep, I knew that too.
I mean, that's also a lesson for life, right?
Yeah. Don't drink unless you trust the person.
Anything from strangers.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I didn't like him even initially. Because I mean, I get it. He's supposed to be annoying and he's supposed to not be likable, but he just annoyed me.
Immediately.
Like his jokes didn't even make me laugh.
Yeah.
Like none of the moments that like his jokes, like I didn't find him funny. I was like, oh my God, shut him up. But that's the point, I think, of his character. Yeah. So
what about Murray?
Oh, Murray.
Murray's borderline cringe. With his humor, like the karate stuff. I'm like,
what is like
Cobra Kai?
I wanted to tweet about it, but I was like, this might be a spoiler. But I'm like, when did Murray become Chuck?
Right.
You know what I'm talking about from the show Chuck?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. I just, it was one of those, I'm like, I feel like they could have handled it a little bit less jokey.
Like unrealistically. Yeah.
It felt like a bad line in a really bad action movie.
Yeah.
Like some of his lines. Just when he was like talking to Yuri about like, I'm gonna do this and that. My feet are like arrows and spears and stuff like that. I was like, come on.
I thought he was gonna say that, like all of that, to only get beat up. Like, see, I thought it was gonna be opposite, to where he was gonna get like hit in the face in the middle of it, and then I thought he was gonna say all that, and then Joyce was just gonna like whack him on the back of the head and be like, that would have been funny.
Yeah, see that I would have been like, okay, good. They did that, and then they had him fight, and I was like, yeah.
You have to be somewhat realistic with it, and I feel like that would have been a lot more realistic. And it would have hit better.
Like maybe he was saying all that to like distract him, so they could get him between them, and then she could get the jump on him. Like I was like, that makes sense.
Yeah,
but Murray essentially being a kung fu master is weird.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing is he's not. Like
no, but
he's been training with kids.
Yeah, but he's throwing punches and kicks and stuff, and he's beating people up
like a pro.
Yeah.
And it's like, and he even said that like the kid that was like gonna be 16, he only beat once, but he's fought many times. And so like how are you about to fight a grown man?
Yeah. But I mean, Yuri didn't seem like he had a lot of hand-to-hand combat training either. So like it makes sense that he could beat him. That's not the unrealistic thing to me at all. I just think it would have been more funny if it had just been like a distraction and then Joyce whacked him in the back of the head.
Yeah. I think like you can do the choreography a little bit differently if you have to figure out what the goal of the fight is, right? Mm-hmm. Is the goal of the fight to show that like he knows some things, but like they don't connect, you know, or like that Yuri is a bad fighter, Murray is a bad fighter, so you can make a kind of awesome fight scene out of bad fighting.
Although now that I think about it, they did want him awake to pilot the plane. So she couldn't have just like whacked him in the back of the head. But I was like, maybe come up with a gun or something. Cause some kind of thing like that.
Right.
Or it could have been a opposite to where like Joyce knocked him out and then Murray's like, you said to keep him awake. And she's like, I know, but too. I got like, She was like, I just got ahead of myself. And like, that would have been funny.
Yeah.
I feel like Joyce hasn't done anything this season.
No.
It hasn't been much.
Not much, because she got the letter.
Compared to other seasons, no.
Yeah.
Right. Because they've been adding more and more characters.
Yeah. Yeah. So like
she doesn't have as much opportunity to do things.
Yeah.
I'll be interested to see if she does do more in the second part, because I would assume that she will, because they found Hop. So now they're going to have to escape Russia, like the prison.
Yeah. They're still technically in the prison. They just got out of the Demogorgon pit.
Mm-hmm. So I'm assuming she'll end up doing more especially once they get back to Hawkins.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I just feel like there are certain characters that like we have, like, even though everybody has done something, we've barely seen this season. Like Will and Mike aren't doing anything. Jonathan, those guys aren't doing anything.
I'm going to be honest. Those are like 3 of my least favorite characters.
Yeah.
So I'm totally okay with them having their little side quest road trip.
I think all of my favorite
Max.
characters are on the Vecna part.
Other than Joyce and Hopper.
Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's true. Yeah.
Are you talking your four, like people's favorite characters, Steve, Nancy, Robin, and Eddie? Because they're like
not Nancy. Not Nancy.
Not Nancy.
But like, is that people's favorite plot line? Is the 4 of them doing their thing?
I think the Vecna plot line obviously is the favorite. I think most people are focused on Max.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Max is one of my favorite characters.
And the Eddie, I love the Eddie and Steve like
bromance going on
with Dustin kind of being a kid. I was like, this is just so good.
Yeah.
But
I liked that too.
The little moments of just like Eddie being like, yeah, he practically worships you kind of thing. Like I was like, oh, because Dustin is so sarcastic and witty. Like you don't see the kind of feel good of like, hey, I really care about you. I really look up to you kind of moments.
Especially this season.
He's
been talking back this season.
It's been nice to get, it was nice to get that little like, hey man, like he practically worships you. Like, you know, you mean a lot to him.
Because Steve was kind of feeling a little like, he wouldn't admit it, but he was feeling a little jealous of Eddie because like Eddie's like the cool, like, bad kid type that's completely not him. And so he was definitely feeling a little like, hey, that was my kid. That kid thinks I'm cool.
Yeah. There's so many things going on and I'm trying to like.
We got Steve and Nancy and Jonathan love triangle thing going on.
Yeah. Clearly Jonathan and Nancy aren't going to last. And if Steve and Nancy survive, they'll end up getting together. That's clear.
Jonathan, what's so good about Jonathan?
Like, what do you see him?
Like it used to be that Steve was the asshole. Great. We can Jonathan's the not asshole. Great. Mm-hmm. But now
clearly Steve isn't,
Yeah, and Steve's actually contributing.
And ever since Jonathan and Nancy have gotten together, I feel like, because Jonathan was a pretty interesting character, at least in the first season. Like he had potential as a character. And then I feel like once he got with Nancy, it dropped. He became real boring real fast. And so, I'd be curious if once he's not with Nancy, if he would be interesting again. But now he's a stoner. So it's like
Jonathan, yeah. I mean,
like
Argyle
a very
works really
empty
well.
Character. That's the thing. Like he just doesn't have a lot of personality or development.
And you think they would have built him up more since he is like since at least in the first season, they built him up as like, you know, Will's brother, Joyce.
Mm-hmm.
Joyce is a big character. So you'd think they would have like a good amount for him too, since he's a pretty pivotal character, but like, nah. He's one of the characters that they haven't really gave much of an arc or depth to.
Yeah,
who?
he really, Jonathan.
Jonathan.
Yeah, he
Well,
really
gave
feels like
Steve.
an empty shell.
Will is also kind of, what's the
Empty
point
too.
of Will anymore?
So Will, I mean, they're teasing Will a little bit, like kind of coming into his own and figuring himself out.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I like. He still seems like side character, but I think it makes sense for his character to be kind of pushed away and forgotten right now. Because he had his big moment in season 1 and 2 of being like the center of everything going on. Just by chance, he just happened to be the one that got kidnapped and, you know, all that stuff. And now like all that's done, it kind of makes sense that they're like, give everybody else a chance to shine. I guess. And then
I still think Lucas hasn't been given enough time to shine because
agreed
with that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I loved his moment with Max before she got possessed with her thing, when he was like, when she's like, it's okay, like I pulled away from everybody, and he's like, no, I didn't like go after you enough. I didn't search for you enough. I wasn't there for you.
Yeah.
I really loved that moment. I thought that was great.
I like the two of them, and I find it believable. There's other relationships I don't find believable. Lucas and Max I find believable. And regardless of whether they get back together or not, the fact is like they love each other and that love is still there. Whether or not they're going to be in a relationship past this point or not, I don't know. But like Lucas is constantly wasted. Like in seasons.
Lucas is having his peer pressure season right now of like, you know, he's trying to make a name for himself, and then he's morally not lining up with who he's hanging out with. It feels very real. Especially for that, you know, for high school. It's a high school thing.
Yeah. Because you're trying to kind of like, if you have the option to like be a cool kid, you kind of like, okay, well, because especially with him being considered a loser for all of his life until then, as a high school kid, you're like, okay, well, I have a chance to not be picked on.
Of course he's going to jump at the chance.
Yeah. But I do like the fact that also when he's realizing that just because they have the status doesn't mean it's worth it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think
he obviously still cares so much about his friends.
About everyone else,
like, not enough to denounce being famous, but he's going behind, you know, his cliques back there to try to help his friends and keep them safe. And you know, at some point it's going to boil down. He's going to be like, no, screw you guys. These are my real friends.
Yeah, he's going to have to pick a side. Being cool is
overrated. Yeah.
He already has picked a side.
He already has.
He switched back.
He just hasn't had his confrontation with the basketball group since he's like pretty much straight up abandoned them. Like they know he did, and they know he's hanging out, but they haven't gone face to face yet.
Yeah, which we'll get in part 2.
Yeah, for sure.
Most likely.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. There's going to be a moment.
It would have to be.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this season has been Max.
Which I'm okay with. I love Max.
Yeah.
Also, me too.
Did you know she directed that episode?
No.
Sadie Sink directed.
Sadie Sink did that?
She directed the episode where she's floating. That episode with
that
her.
That whole episode?
Yeah.
How old is she?
Isn't she like 19?
19, 20, something like that.
Sheesh.
She directed Letters to My Brother or whatever. Letter to My Brother. That's the episode. Whatever.
So my favorite episode.
Was directed by. That's impressive.
That's very impressive.
Season 4, episode 5, I think it was.
I think it was 4.
No, 4.
Because it would make sense.
Dear Billy. That's what it was.
Dear Billy.
Dear Billy.
Yeah.
Why did I say Letter to My Brother? Or what?
Because it's the same thing.
It's close enough.
Kind of not same.
Yeah.
I guess it is that. Yeah, it's the same.
It is. It's a letter to her brother.
But yeah, that's the one directed by Sadie Sink.
Wow. I mean, she did such a fantastic job this season.
Yeah, just with acting in general.
Acting is amazing. When she like realized that she was next kind of thing, just the way her character handled it. Because Max is a very confident, like she doesn't care what anybody thinks. She's, very independent, does whatever she wants kind of thing. Just the way she handled it of like writing all the letters and, still fighting and not just giving up.
Yeah.
But you could still see those moments of like, this is hopeless in her eyes every once in a while.
Yeah.
She did amazing.
Yeah, because that was what stood out to me this season too with her character and like the ability is just the fact of like, you're right. Max has always been known as one of those kind of like more confident characters. But in this season, she's still acting confident, but you can tell that it's acting. Like you can tell that she's clearly insecure. She's dealing with all these.
Putting on a show for it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, which I feel like is super her character. Like it's just her.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look up more information about it. By the way, did you guys see Fear Street?
I was going to ask. I was like, she's been in other stuff, but I haven't watched her in other stuff.
No, I think I watched the first Fear Street, like the first part of it, like the first movie, but I didn't watch the one with her in it. I heard it was good though.
I haven't seen it either, but I've heard nothing but good things.
Yeah.
She's in part 2, but they're really good. I don't like horror, but I will watch it if it's like Stranger Things, if it's like Walking Dead. There has to be some like bigger reason. I don't like horror. I get scared. But if I like if there's like a science fiction aspect to it or a action adventure aspect to it, then I'll watch it.
Yeah. I'm not a huge horror fan. I'll watch them occasionally because my husband likes them. But it's usually, I don't get scared. I will say that there's only been one scary movie that made me like, I would like to turn on the lights now. But I get like, I'm a very emotional, empathetic person. So I get all those feelings from the characters, if that makes sense. Like just that yucky feeling. I'm like, I don't like this. I'm not scared, but I don't want to watch them, go through all that.
For me, it depends on the type of horror. I feel like if it's, again, similar to Stranger Things, like Stranger Things obviously is horror, but it also has that science fiction element. So it makes me interested. But if it's just like flat out horror, like Annabelle, for example, or like The Conjuring, I don't get scared. I find it funny. Like to me, it's hard to take it seriously. And so it's hard because it sucks though. Cause like I want to be able to feel scared, but like the only horror movies that I actually feel kind of like uncomfy about are like the psychological thrillers to where it's like, this could be real. Like this is based on a psychopath. But it's like, I also don't like it either because it makes me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Gives me.
I may be wrong about the director thing. I'm trying to look up. I'm trying to look up more information about it. But I don't want to be passed out wrong information, so I'm going to try to figure out and clarify what I was.
I'll be very impressed if, like, I don't doubt that she couldn't do it, but I'd be super impressed if she did.
And also that they would be like, yeah, sure, you can direct an episode. That was my
how old
thing.
are you?
I was like, okay.
Just turned 19. Cool. Want to direct this?
Yeah. Here's your seat, your megaphone, have at it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure that like, because I do know, because I've watched interviews before of like different Netflix actors that are younger. One was actually with Millie Bobby Brown, and they're very, as far as like what they talk about is they're pretty collaborative. And so they do allow, like for her, for example, they did allow her to co-produce one. I don't remember the series that she's in. I've never watched it, but like the one where it's like Henry Cavill's in it. And then another, I think Jude Law's in it, a Netflix series that she's in. But
who is?
Millie Bobby Brown.
Oh, sure. Enola Holmes.
Enola Holmes. I was like, Henry Cavill, I immediately went The Witcher, and I was like, no.
No, imagine. Yeah, she directed The Witcher. But yeah, like that.
I was wrong about the directing part. Sorry.
Okay.
Oh, dang it.
It's okay. Because somebody tweeted that, and then I didn't corroborate my sources.
Yeah. Well, we would like to see her do that. That would be
and I'm sure she will. I won't be surprised if one day she's directing something.
Yeah. But no, everybody's talking about her performance in that episode just being amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. Because again, I think this season, even though there was a lot going on and a lot of like big moments for big characters like Elle, it's still Max's season so far. Yeah. I feel like it was still mainly focused around her character.
Mm-hmm.
I'm bored by Elle. I'm sorry.
I'm a little bit.
Yeah, me too.
Like her and what is his name? Mike. Yeah. I don't care about the relationship.
I don't ship them. I've never shipped them.
I don't dislike it. I just don't care. I just don't care. I'm just like, yeah, sure, whatever. You guys have fun. No, I'm gonna stay over here.
Yeah. You guys got ships though? Who are your ships? Whether or not they're happening or going to happen or could happen or not going to happen, who are our ships? I need Lucas and Max to figure things out personally.
I was about to say that's definitely
the biggest one.
Yeah.
I want Steve. I want him to figure himself out.
Yeah.
Of like it seems like he thinks he has to be in a relationship to be worth something.
Yeah.
And I want him to figure out that he's enough. Kind of. That's my thing.
I don't want him and Nancy together.
Okay. I don't really want him and Nancy together either. Yeah. If he does have to find somebody for his character arc to be complete, I want it to be someone just like completely off. When last season, him and Robin, I was so
wasn't a
for
lesbian,
it.
I would ship them.
I was gonna say when she came out at the end of the thing, it wasn't even like aw man. Like I was just like, oh, okay. Well, I still like both their characters. I love their relationship as friends.
Yeah. Yeah, their friendship is great. That. Yeah.
But yeah, it's like I want them to be happy. I like Steve.
Same. Yeah, Steve is probably one of my favorite characters too. Yeah. And I really do like him and Robin together. But I'm also glad that Robin is a lesbian because representation.
Yeah. Also, Maya Hawke is always great.
She kills. And it's funny because I didn't realize until when season 3 came out, I did research on her because I was like, she looks familiar. I did not realize that she was Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman's daughter.
Right. Ethan Hawke, I would have guessed by the name.
Yeah.
But not, I didn't know, like Uma Thurman's daughter? That's crazy.
I didn't even realize that her and Ethan Hawke were ever together.
Yeah. I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
Yeah, Maya Hawke is my pick for Rogue in the MCU.
Ooh, she would be a good Rogue.
That would be amazing. Yeah, I like that.
It's specifically the X-Men Evolution Rogue, the kind that's kind of gothy.
Yeah, I was about to say you kind of want her to be more gothy.
Yeah, but she's been one of my favorite additions to Stranger Things. Maya Hawke,
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the way I see like Steve's character going is I want him to get over Nancy. Ryan's right. I want him to understand that like he's good by himself. He's comfortable with himself, right? And then season 5 comes around. They introduce a new girl, maybe a woman of color. That would be nice because right now we just got Lucas and Argyle.
We're a little
Erica, if she counts.
Erica,
but like she's
Erica's
a kid.
Great.
Yeah, Erica's
still
great.
A side character.
Yeah. But like, introduce a new character and then have Steve be like, oh, okay. Sometimes what we fail to realize in life is that like sometimes our greatest love is yet to come, right? We focus on like past love, like love.
What you had.
Yeah. But like, sometimes you just haven't met the person yet.
Which is that's the only times. Usually, like, if it doesn't work out the first time, it's like, I don't think it's going to work out another time.
No. And sometimes, I mean, it's not sometimes even from, sometimes, it's from your circle of people that you haven't, like, looked at from the right angle or whatever. But, like, a lot of time, you just haven't met the person.
Exactly. I agree. And that's something that I always kind of struggle with TV shows and movies with characters is like a lot of times when you do have a character and they were first introduced with an established relationship and then they break up, they always play the trope of like the will they, won't they, like get back together. And it's like can you not just have them be independent and show us that like you don't need to be with someone in order to like grow as a person?
Right.
I haven't heard anybody talk about wanting Steve and Nancy back together.
Yeah.
I have, but I don't agree.
Okay.
I don't, because I don't.
I haven't heard it at all. To be honest, I don't dislike Nancy, but she's kind of one of those empty Jonathan characters. Like
she's kind of bland.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Kind of just I don't know. She's just a side character, and not in like a mean way. Just she hasn't really been developed very well.
I did like her and Robin together when they did that. When they did the asylum.
I didn't like how hostile Nancy was.
She was mean.
I was like, what is up?
And
like,
Robin was just trying to talk with her and have a conversation. Nancy had like not 1 ounce of like humor in her bone or in her body.
You know what I think they were trying to get at? I don't know. Did you guys
jealousy?
Realize? No. Well, there was the jealousy thing, right? But I think they got over it by that point. Mm-hmm. Robin is autistic.
Really?
Robin literally states when she's going through Nancy's room, she doesn't say autistic, but she says everything else. She says that like all that stuff. So like if you see Robin through that lens, I think Robin's autistic.
And you have to think about it too, because that scene with Nancy, when Robin was just kind of going like rambling and she was like, yeah, like I don't read like, people very well. Like I just keep talking. I can't read expressions. Like my
That's
mom
huge,
says, yeah, which is a huge part of autism.
Right. And so to me, it feels like Robin and Nancy are on this mission. Nancy in her head is like, just shut up. I will do the talking. I'm obviously the smart person here. But like kind of in a way, like nothing you do is going to further this situation. When then Robin actually furthers the situation, right?
Literally every time. Yeah. Every time Nancy's like, I got it. And Robin's like, nah, actually, I got it.
Right. Because Nancy can't think outside the box.
No, because the whole Robin, like when they were in the asylum talking to the doctor.
Yeah.
It was all Robin. Robin went off script of what Nancy wanted to do, but then had that huge monologue that got them to where they needed to go.
Right.
I don't know. It just felt, her hostility just felt like out of place.
Yeah.
Like not Nancy, because Nancy may have felt that way on the inside, but I don't think she would have been so outwardly rude.
I don't think it's about her autism per se, but I think it's Nancy because Nancy, is editor of the newspaper, right? Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. She's the one making the choices. I'm
sure she's very used to being in charge, which is fine. But like at the very beginning of them teaming up, when it wasn't like let me do the decisions, like they were just searching for stuff. It was just one of those. I thought they were trying to play up the whole Nancy is jealous.
Oh, they were.
But like it still felt incredibly. It just felt so much more aggressive than it needed to be.
Yeah, like. I felt the same. It didn't get to the point to where it bothered me, but there, like every time that Nancy and her would interact, and Nancy was kind of a little bit more hostile than I would imagine Nancy to be. It kind of felt like it didn't match her character at all.
Yeah, it just felt out of character. And I thought for a second, I was like, oh, are there maybe rumors about Robin's like sexuality and does she has like some kind of prejudice against that? And are they gonna like? Are they going to address that? But they didn't. So I was like, okay.
Somebody pointed out,
like, what's the reason?
Somebody pointed out that like Steve had multiple opportunities to just kind of tell people about Robin's sexuality, and he didn't. Like,
respectful.
He didn't let it sleep.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He never did. Yeah.
Which is important, obviously, for friendship and trust and everything. But
right.
Because there was, I think, one moment too, I think, was him and Eddie or someone at like School Rock where he was talking about it. And then it seemed like he was going to say it. And then he just diverted and didn't say it about Robin.
It was with somebody when he was like, I would date her if, like he was trying to say, I would date her if she was straight. But then he like stopped and then he like
pivoted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I like that. I noticed that too, and I thought it was very how you should deal with those things. It's not your business to share other people's business.
Yeah. What I realized with some recaps is that there's a lot of characters that Steve was friends with that we don't see anymore because they were just those like douchey friends of his in like seasons 1 or 2 even. Mm-hmm. And like they've all like I would assume either don't hang out with him or they left Hawkins, but like it's interesting that Steve has real friends now.
Yeah, meaningful friendships.
Yeah.
Even as much as they make jokes about him just being like a babysitter, things like that. Like obviously he and Dustin, and just like they're actually friends.
Yeah.
And him and Robin.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think him and Eddie. Like I think they're going to grow. Too. Yeah. They're going to grow closer.
Yeah. If Eddie survives, I hope he does. Because I do like him as a character. But yeah, I think that would be a good relationship too for him to have as well, because it is someone that's like, he has Dustin as a friend and the other friends too, but then he has another dude friend who's around his age roughly. Because I think Eddie's like a super senior. But
I think he's like a super senior, right?
Yeah, like I think they said 2 years. It's been 2 years. So it would make him around
20?
Steve's age. Yeah.
Why is a 20-year-old hanging out with like
I got the feeling it was like he was like 19, like he only missed 1 year kind of thing.
No, but he mentioned like they said
I think it was twice.
Like
you're going to graduate and that didn't happen, and you're going to graduate, that didn't happen. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it would make him like 19 coming on 20. Or no, it'd make him 20. It'd make him 20.
But that doesn't make sense with Chrissy, because Chrissy and him knew each other in middle school.
Well, she could have been.
If Chrissy's a senior.
I was about to say, she could have been like just coming into middle school and he could have been leaving.
Yeah.
That would work. Because they made it very like she didn't recognize him, which would make sense if she had only seen him at the talent show kind of thing. And then he graduated that year.
Yeah, because I think they, at least from what I was picking up, they didn't say anything, but I felt like her, the main jock, it felt like they were seniors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. By the way, I hate that basketball captain guy. I've talked about it. And I think if anyone's going to be dying next, it's him.
Yep. I hope so.
Yeah.
I'm about done with that.
Though you know who I want to die? But she's in California, is that Angela girl.
Oh gosh. Did you guys think that Elle killed her for a second?
Oh, Angela. It took me a minute. I was like, who's Angela?
The blonde girl.
The bully.
I didn't think she killed her, but like
I thought that she had meant to hit her with like the wheels and hit the metal plate and like accidentally killed her. That was immediately I was like, oh no. That's not good.
I thought she killed her too. I thought it was going to be an act, especially after seeing what happened in episode 1, thinking, okay, well, she's a killer. I thought she was going to accidentally kill her in front of everyone.
Yeah. I didn't think she was going to kill her because I think that's a step too far. Like you just outright just randomly killed someone.
Murdered someone. Yeah.
But that girl, like, should die. Like, it's not
she
Chrissy.
Sucks.
You know what I mean?
She sucks.
Yeah, she's
for
mean.
Sure.
Like, she's worse than even, I want to say she's worse than the jock. Like, because the jock is just on his own weird.
Yeah, just doing his thing. But she's like, oh, Elle, your dad died? Oh, that's
she's
so
like
sad.
purposely
like,
mean.
Oh my gosh.
Like, she's vicious.
Right.
Yeah.
And I feel like those are the type of people that, like, there's no coming back from. You make fun of a person's dead father.
Yeah.
That's a line, like, only the worst people would do that.
And be just totally okay with it.
Yeah.
Like, her whole friend group was just like, oh, like, you don't say that.
Yeah. And what bothered me, too, is the fact that it wasn't just the friend group. It was literally everyone around the rink. Like, even just the random people there.
Yeah.
Like, we're laughing at her and, like, rooting for her downfall. I'm like, what did she even do to you? Like, she barely says anything.
That being said, when they did this thing to make fun of her,
Oh, that was so
I was
funny.
like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. It makes sense how weird it would have been.
Out of context. When she like did that at Angela and like
she screamed Angela first, right?
They had all that music buildup of like the intense, and then they cut it halfway through her scream so you could see how ridiculous it looked from the outside. I was like, that was well
so
done.
Good.
It would have looked weird from their point of view.
I remember seeing a meme of that, unfortunately, because again, like with Twitter, it shows you stuff. I didn't want to watch it, but I saw a meme of it after Multiverse of Madness came out. And it was like people after watching Multiverse of Madness be like, just the scream and what it looks like. But that was... Other
it was
than that,
really well done.
Yeah, like that was funny. But then, I just I got to pick on Elle. She's literally not doing anything to you.
Well, oh, did your daddy? Oh, like and then like teacher.
Yeah,
I don't know whether this is part of the criteria.
So
and then the teacher's like, I'll accept it.
That I get as like if I don't know, like if Angela didn't realize that Elle's dad had died or something like that, then and maybe had like a little bit of a back off moment, I would have been like, okay, she's fine. She's a bully, but she has when she uses
your dad
that
can't be the hero.
Elle,
you can't do your project on your dad. That'd be ridiculous.
Yeah, I was like, tone it down. Oh no, she's not going to tone it down, type of thing.
Like I get that. Like I'd be thinking like,
did I mess up on the project?
Like I just did mine on like Martin Luther King Jr. You're doing that on your dad. Okay.
Yeah.
And then like, he's dead.
Maybe
that would shut me up.
Oh yeah. Oh, he's dead. Oh, okay, cool. That's fine.
Yeah. Continue.
I retract my previous statement.
Yeah. He died in a fire saving people.
Oh,
not bad. Let me just not come.
Can I do my project on her dad too?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. But she's like, no. Oh, okay. That's what I thought. I just want to make sure that like she was wrong and I'm right.
Like Angela is the worst of the worst. She's just like,
She's just snobby.
I guess you're a hero if you just like burn alive saving a bunch of people. I guess, super easy to be a hero now. All you got to do is die.
I really want her whole, just not even her, just like her and her whole friend group. I want all of them. I would like them to just perish.
Yeah.
I'd like one to show up. And
I hope there's a moment at the end of the season that they do go back to California and she goes to school and Angela tries to like cause some kind of thing.
Yeah.
And she just like jumps at her and Angela like turn tails and run away.
Yeah.
I know they won't, because obviously like she was seen attacking her in front of everybody at the roller rink. Like,
and they won't go back to California.
Yeah, they're not going to go back to California. But I would love to see Angela get some karma for
or like
was that not karma though? She just got her face broken.
I will say when Elle like set her face and stood up and grabbed that roller skate, I was like, yes, like just like, yeah. And Taylor's like, this is not going to be good. He's like, this is just not.
But as the viewer, for the satisfaction of just something happening.
It was so nice. You hear that crack and you're like, yes.
Break her nose.
I feel like a slap to the face would have been nice though.
Or just a punch.
Yeah.
If she had punched her in the nose and broken it, I would have been just as satisfied. Her even. I think the roller skate added that
push.
That concept of, maybe she snapped and killed her.
Yeah.
That was because we didn't know at that point that Elle didn't do the massacre. So we were kind of a little on edge with her of like, is she going to just snap at some point? What's going to happen? Maybe Angela was the pushing point. High school, you know how it goes.
Right.
But I think that roller skate was just to give that uncertainty of, is she going to actually do some pretty bad damage, or is she just going to punch her in the face to stand up for herself,
And I guess it was also, it had to be something that was enough for like the cops to intervene.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so a push or like a punch wouldn't have really done it. It would have had to been something that was like more severe.
That's true.
For it to be considered like a misdemeanor.
Right. I also thought she was gonna throw the skate.
Throw it?
Yeah, because she was like walking up.
She covered that ground fast.
I thought she was gonna throw it at her, but that didn't happen.
No. I've had it. No, I didn't think she was going to throw it. I knew she was going to hit her with the roller skate, but my biggest thing was, I didn't know if she was going to accidentally kill her.
Yeah. I want to know, because this is some people are asking online. Do you have a song that would get through to you?
See, my problem is I get favorite songs and then I listen to them on repeat and then I'm sick of them, which is what Max said. Remember, Max was like, what if I listen to this too many times and it doesn't work anymore? Like that's a genuine fear, I guess, for her. I feel like it would just be like, oh, go on a Spotify playlist and look at most played in the last 6 months. So that's probably going to be it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that would probably be me too. Cause I hyperfixate. I feel like I don't have favorite songs because I hyperfixate on like a handful of them that would potentially be contenders of my favorite. And then again, I get sick of it and I'm like, okay, well, I need to find new music because I don't like these as much as I used to.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't know.
Is there a song that like when you hear it takes you back to like a specific point in time? So like, okay, so for
like a
instance,
throwback.
Yeah. So like most recently, not the answer to this, but like Sunflower from Into the Spider-Verse, I listened to on repeat.
That's
and I don't think
that's a good one.
I don't think I got tired. I could listen to it right now and be like, it's still good. And then there's the whole Black Panther soundtrack, but specifically the two that are in the movie.
I was going to say, I think most songs that would have that like emotional catch that you needed would be from movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually from the intros, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or the outros.
The end credits of Black Panther.
Yeah.
You know?
Or even Shang-Chi, like the outro song to that from Anderson .Paak. That one was, or Pop,
that one was
good
too. That album was good. I need to listen to it again.
Yeah.
But then there's like a random song that I used to listen to on repeat after my first breakup. And like it doesn't make me think of her. We're fine, her and I. She's great. But
it takes you back.
But it takes me back to this like moment in time. So like I feel like if somebody played that song, it was it's a band called Augustana. Did you guys ever listen to Augustana?
Mm-mm.
They had like Boston. That was their song. Like their hit single was like, I think I'll go to Boston.
Oh, I know that song though.
You know?
Yeah.
But they had another song that should have been their like one of their singles, but it wasn't. It was called Sunday Best, I think. It's either Sunday Best or Sunday's Best. What's that?
I think I know that song.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That sounds really familiar.
Yeah.
I do have mine though. Now that I'm thinking of it, is I Need a Hero. Bonnie Tyler's I Need a Hero.
Yeah.
Because every time, like one, I never get sick of that song.
Okay.
Two, the amount of edits that I have seen with that Star Wars edits, just anything. That just like every time it pops up, I'm just like, yep, this is good. This is gonna be good.
The chills
Shrek,
come in.
You got Shrek, you know?
Yeah,
like, you know.
Shrek, you have Loki, you have you have a lot with that song.
Like I have a memory.
Footloose.
As a kid, we had a swing like just on a tree branch outside, and I remember I had my little MP3 player hooked up, had that song just on repeat, swing as high as I could get that swing. Like it's one of those that's attached to a really good memory kind of thing of like childhood being outside.
Yeah.
Like that's something that would bring you back, I would think.
Yeah.
I would.
By the way, sorry, the Kids Bop version of Sunflower is also still good. I don't know if you guys listen. It's weird. It's not weird.
How do you know that they made a Kids Bop version of Sunflower?
Because you look up Sunflower on Apple Music, and then it brings you all
Kids
like,
Bop?
Yeah, it brings you all the different versions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I listened to the Kids Bop version, and I'm like, it's still good. It's almost, it's not better, but it's different because you have kids' voices singing it.
Yeah.
Which could either be a good thing or a bad thing.
And they don't have to change. They didn't edit much. There's one line where it's like, ride me like a cruise. in the original song that they changed for the Kids Bop version, but that's like the only thing they change.
I was traumatized when I realized that there was the Kids Bop. They made a Watermelon Sugar cover and a WAP cover, and I was like, "Excuse me."
No, did they actually make a WAP cover?
Yeah. I was like,
for
no,
that they're doing
not.
it for the memes, right? They have to be doing it for the memes at that point.
Yeah, they would have to, but it made me very uncomfy.
Yeah,
but I would say for me, the song, because now that we're talking about it, what always brings me back. Beautiful Girls by Sean Kingston. You know that song?
Yeah,
All over the world.
Yeah. Oh wait, the when they're like suicidal.
Yeah.
But then the radio edit would change that.
They go in denial.
In denial.
Wait, did they?
Yeah.
I think I've only ever heard the suicidal one.
Yeah, back when it would play on the radio all the time, they would either cut it out completely and it would be like weird, or they would say in denial.
Sean Kingston was the type of guy that like, yeah, you could take home to meet your parents, but he's gonna say some like random weird thing in the middle. You know what I mean? Like there's that song, and then there's that song like I'll take you down where the like to the slums where the killers get hung.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, why would you? That's not
You're
a
like,
date.
Excuse me?
That's not a date, Sean Kingston.
And whatever happened to Sean Kingston?
I don't know.
Like he dropped some hits of like the mid to late 2000s and then dipped.
He made his money and dipped. I mean, Akon took his money and invested it back into Senegal. Like he built like water or electricity in like certain villages and stuff. Yeah,
Akon is like he'd made good decisions with his fame.
Yeah. Anyway, I mean, I guess you could play any Akon song to me. I'm just telling you guys if this happens, all right? Because I feel like we're kind of a Stranger Things crew right here.
I feel like the whole Keeg universe is like Stranger Things crew. Like you've got everybody doing their own plot points, but
yeah, exactly. In the end, they come together to defeat. Why am I blanking out the names? The Huns.
In Mulan.
Oh my God! Yeah,
to defeat the Huns.
Vecna.
It was actually funny because when we did the celebration after party, it was kind of like a lot of people that like we had been dealing with online that met in real life.
Was it kind of a weird like crossover episode feeling?
Yeah.
It's like I know you and I know you, but you guys also know each other, and now we're all here.
Yeah.
I saw some of the pictures from like, Jonathan and them posting, and I was just like, hey, I know all these people.
Johnny was there. That was crazy. Terrell came in because he flew in from England. That was wild. So many like cool people.
And there was a lot more people that I expected going. I didn't think there was. I knew there was going to be a good amount, but I didn't realize that like there was going to be that many people that actually showed up, which was cool.
Yeah.
Like just the Star Wars celebration.
Yeah. I forget where I was going with this. I mean, as long as we all got our songs, I
think we're set. I think we all figured it out.
I think basically anything within the era of like late 2000s to like early 2010s.
Yeah.
Anything 80s
that'll work.
Me is what I feel like.
Ooh,
80s to 90s.
Yeah. As we wrap up this episode, I want to know where you think this volume 2 will go. Like, what do we think is going to happen in volume 2?
A lot.
Well, we got season 5 still, so I don't think they're going to wrap everything up in a nice, neat little bow and say, "Here you go, have fun." I feel like somebody's going to die that we care.
A big one.
I feel like Eddie's going to die. I
feel like he's the only logical one if they're having a season 5.
Likeable, but not so connected that
it's gonna.
It would ruin. Things.
Well, keep in mind Nancy's in being possessed right now or whatever. Sorry, keep talking. I'll be right back.
Okay, because I was gonna say too, with Nancy, it may make sense if she dies because I feel like she has a big impact on a lot of the other characters, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so her death going into season 5 could
Steve and Jonathan would be
Yeah,
just
Steve and Mike.
destroyed. And Mike.
And plus, we know who the parents, like, pretty well. Like, well enough to where they're established characters.
I hate their dad so much.
Oh, my God. Their dad. And the way he always has a comment after his mom says anything, after the daughter, after anyone says anything, he always has, like, a snarky comment. And I'm like... Negative
comment. I hate it so much.
It's very, like, on point with the times, though. That's one thing.
For sure. When he's like, she puts words in my mouth or whatever about the mom, I was just like
very toxic, like, masculine dad mentality.
Hate that character. I'd be okay if he died.
Me too. Honestly, I've gotten
I would not be fine.
Yeah, I wouldn't be upset.
I feel like if Nancy dies, maybe it's just because I'm on the side where I just like don't care about her at all. But I'd be like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, you're like end it.
I'm sure there are people that really like her character and care about her. So that would probably impact them. I'm just on the side of just like, oh no, she died. Oh well.
Yeah, because that's where I teeter. I feel like when you come to the storyline, it would make sense. But for me, because I obviously, as viewers, you also kind of want to feel like you don't want a character to die, but you low key kind of want them to, so you can feel the pain. Her character wouldn't be it for me.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like Eddie's likable enough that I'm like, if he did die, I'd be like, I'd be upset. Not Eddie.
Yeah.
But that's kind of how I felt with Max too. I was like, if they kill Max, I might be done. Like I might walk. I might miss this. But my husband was like, if they have balls, they're going to kill Max. Like, like that would be a way to say really nobody is safe. So
I will say, and I told my friends this too, I'm glad that Max survived because she's one of my favorites. I would say like Steve and Max are like my top favorites, but I kind of wanted her to die because I wanted them to kind of set a bar, like a tone of like, like
nobody's
it's getting
safe.
Real. Yeah. But I'm glad she didn't.
Max.
I was thinking about that, but also thinking how like she's one of two girl characters in that friend group.
That's true. Yeah. It's so they kind of need her. Unless they brought Erica in.
Yeah, but Erica's still at a different level. Like, she's still younger,
I think she's like in middle school.
Yeah. By the way, Erica's badass. She's just...
She's hilarious.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every scene she's in is amazing.
Technically, the most expendable out of the core, the original like kid group is Will.
And people were saying that would be a good kind of full circle moment of his character kind of going out, which I could see happening.
But I don't want them to kill the gay character.
I know. I was just about to say, like, that's the only reason why I would hope that they
kill
don't.
Mike.
Yeah, right.
What does Mike do?
Mike doesn't do anything. Mike's like the team leader, but he doesn't do anything anymore.
Yeah. Like, I just don't understand the point. Sorry, my phone got to 20%. But I don't understand what he does. Like, the only use of his character was in season 1. And even in season 1, it was a lot of the other characters. It was a lot of Dustin. It was a lot of Jonathan, Joyce.
It was Will versus Lucas, wasn't it? Wasn't there like a plot line where like...
In the first season?
Yeah, where Lucas is up a tree with the thing.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Wasn't there like a thing where like, so it was like Lucas was calling the shots, but then Mike was calling the shots, and like they disagreed on that?
Because Mike was his best friend more than Lucas.
Yeah. I feel like they just appointed Mike as like, he's the leader, and then just never did anything with that.
No, because he was never the leader. At least, like, I mean, he was, but like,
he's just the leader in the sense that he got the girl kind of thing, and then they're just like, we all good? We good? Okay. Shoot.
Right. And they don't even like really, they're not like, again, like I'm not against like, cause I mean, I don't care for like, if you like the ship or not, but for me, it just was never that appealing of one because all they do is fight.
Who?
Like
Mike and 11?
Mike and 11, like they're never really happy. Like
it really felt they're like, take lead boy, take lead girl.
Put them together.
Yeah. Like it didn't really, there was no chemistry there really.
Right. The most interesting part was like in season 3 when they had like broken up and then like she was out with Max doing her own thing and the
girl
boys
stuff.
were doing their thing. And like it was kind of funny, kind of endearing. I don't.
Yeah, because they were trying to like figure out like how it's more so like with Elle like doing her thing, but then also with Mike and trying to like do his regular stuff again without a girl, but they kept like it kept not working out.
Was Lucas and Max dating at that time? In the beginning of season 3? I think so, right?
I think they were, but Max was still just that very like, I'm independent, I can do what I want, leave me alone.
Right. Yeah. But they weren't fighting. No. They were more like Luke. What? Correct me if I'm wrong. Was it Lucas being like, "Look, I'm not a part. Like, I'm with her. I'm not gonna. Like, I don't know what's going on." Yeah. I want to rewatch season 3 because I did like that. I'm gonna be honest. I'm okay with this season. There's some good things. There's some not good things.
It started out with a really big bang, and then it felt like it just kind of petered out a little bit. So
the 11 stuff is kind of dragging because also I don't find 11 that interesting anymore.
But we still have 2 more episodes. I don't know. Maybe it'll.
Wait, what?
I said we still have 2 more episodes. So.
There are only 2.
No, what?
There's only 2.
That makes sense.
Volume 2 is
really
2 episodes.
It's literally just 2 episodes.
They're really long.
This is news to me.
Yeah, because I didn't know, but it wouldn't shock me, especially when they were like, the final episode like over 2 hours. I was like, okay, so it's basically going to be like 2 episodes in one.
Oh. Yeah, chapter 8, Papa, and chapter 9, the piggyback.
Yep, there's the 2.
I didn't realize that what the hell? Why are they calling it volume 1 and volume 2?
Why would they not just drop them all at the same time?
Okay, let's talk about this because this is something that I've always been vocal about.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, I can't propose it I can't bring it up until whatever. Okay, so basically we'll restate it for Ryan, but basically Netflix started off with this release model of releasing a whole season at once, right?
Mm-hmm.
TV releases once a week. Disney Plus, for the most part, releases once a week. So, like, we've kind of gone through this whole thing where it's like, how do we release these things? Each streaming service kind of does it a little bit different. Do you, as a consumer, do you feel one way or another, Justice? Like, how do you like to do it?
It's difficult because I've thought about this too. And it's like, I feel like a con of, let's say, like the weekly is, even though this is how it's always been, like like TV and series in general, it's always been per week. But with streaming and binging shows became such a regular thing for a few years that you kind of adjust to not having that in between, length until Disney Plus again. And so for me, I feel like I kind of do enjoy the binge factor a little bit more, just because when you're watching it back to back, you're able to, I feel like, understand the story a little bit better, opposed to like waiting a week and then watching other shows and movies in between then and then forgetting like, wait, how does this make sense again? Oh yeah, because that happened. If that makes sense, because like I recently did a whole Marvel rewatch and rewatched Loki specifically, because Loki was the show that I watched without like having to wait a week, or the show where I had to wait a week for. The other ones I was late to. But
WandaVision, you watched it all at once?
Actually, no, that's not true. Because I also forgot about Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
So never mind. But I did do a rewatch of all the series, and I felt like I was able to understand the story a lot better because I watched it back to back. Like I felt like it felt more cohesive and like put together than it did when you had to wait for the next episode to come out, because there's other content out there and you're watching that in between it. You kind of forget, like, because you're kind of brought out of that world and then you're brought back into it, but then the episodes are also shorter. And so I feel like a solution to that maybe would be to make the episodes longer. Or make at least more episodes in it.
Okay.
Because like for Moon Knight, for example, Moon Knight was a big one I noticed, as well as Hawkeye too. Both of those series kind of fell short for me because I think it was the fact that there wasn't enough episodes, but then the fact that I feel like waiting. I really felt the whole waiting the week.
Yeah.
Like more so than any of the other ones. Like I really felt it with those ones to where it was like, wait, like, okay, Moon Knight, but what happened in the last one again? Oh yeah, that happened. But now this is happening. And so it feels choppy.
Yeah, those two series especially, it wasn't like, oh, I can't wait to see what happens next week. Like all week you're thinking about it, you forget about it. That's the thing.
Yeah. And that's going to happen sometimes. What I think though is I like my weekly episodes because when Netflix Daredevil came out, you can't talk about episode 6 of Daredevil without watching the whole season. You have to talk about them as seasons. And everybody then has to be caught up and then you can talk. It's like,
that's true.
I do like the weekly, like right now with Kenobi. Like I like that I can stay up to date on everybody's memes and videos and what they're making without being afraid of seeing something that I haven't watched yet.
Right.
True. Because with Stranger Things,
meme culture relies on weekly.
Meme culture relies on posting as fast as possible.
Right.
Like as soon as you watch something, it's up.
Right. But there's a problem with these 7 episodes of Stranger Things that got released where it's like you get spoilers then.
Yeah, I was having to dodge it. I posted Kenobi to where it's like I'm already caught up. But then with Stranger Things, you're like seeing one's, Vecna, and you're like, wait a minute, what?
I
watched episode 2.
I only saw one spoiler and it unlocked a lot of things, which was the 001 tattoo and her 11. And I'm like, okay, so it's this guy.
Yeah.
And I assume he's Vecna anyway.
I am so against spoilers that it's just one of those I'm like, but again, as content creators, like you have to stay up to date. But then if you work a full-time job or even a part-time job, like it's really tough to find the time. Right. And then also to find the time to do all the things you want to do, like play video games or anything else,
Right.
Yeah. Like I've only been able to like be up to date with even like Stranger Things because right now I've been unemployed for the last couple of weeks because I'm obviously moving.
Yeah.
But when I was employed, when I was working full-time job, it was hard for me to be able to keep up with everything because it's like, I don't have the time to do that because I'm either doing that or when I'm home and making content, I'm also eating dinner, working out, like having my own life. And so it's really hard and challenging. So I do see the benefits of having the weekly episodes because it allows you to be able to be up to date on one thing opposed to having to be up to date for a whole thing.
Right. Yeah. Also, meme culture, it's just better. Like WandaVision and meme culture, the fact that it came out and then throughout the week, we could like meme
laugh about
and talk about it
too, and like forming your own theories for things. That's a big thing that I miss with even Game of Thrones, with Lost, anything, like everybody just trying to figure out what's going on.
Right. Westworld is one of those ones where I'm like, even if you get a chance to watch Westworld now, watch
it's not the same.
Like, well, watch an episode and then give it a break. And then watch another episode. Like, you don't have to put a week in between, but you need thinking time.
Yeah.
And like a lot of these episodes, I feel like I can't tell you what happened in a specific episode or not.
That's true. And that's probably too why we struggle so much with season 2 and 3 and like it meshing together. Because you do just binge it all. And so it's like, wait, what happened where?
Yeah.
That happened when? I know that happened, but when?
Yeah.
Yep.
So I guess the question that we'll close on is, do you guys wish that these episodes were released episodically or what? Because this is actually the first time it's being released as 2 volumes. But even then, I don't think it's enough. I think they should have just been episodes.
I think they could have.
Yeah, I would like it if they did like 2 or 3 episodes at a time. Like, you know how they dropped 2 episodes of Kenobi?
Yeah. Well, sometimes they do that at the top and then they release one at a time.
If they had done like 2 or 3 episodes every week, that'd be great. Because then if you wanted to, you can watch, 1 episode a day and then have a couple day breaks and then have another one, or you can binge all 3 at once, something like that.
Yeah.
So you still get that time, that breathing time between, but you also get a lot of content,
Yeah. I think that would be a good kind of in between. And which Disney Plus does do a good job at least with the initial episodes, is they usually do. They release like 1 or 2 episodes to start out with. which I think is good. Like being able to at least give you a little bit of something, but not like the whole thing, so that you have time to realistically be up to date with it.
Yeah.
Because they're only 40 minutes too per a lot of Disney Plus series. So like 2 episodes is about 1 episode of Stranger Things.
Yeah. I don't know. That was just an idea. Netflix, if you're out there watching, maybe you might want to take that into account. Netflix is the one who pioneered the binge release. Not just binging, because you could binge anything. But the binge release puts the onus on everybody to finish the season, then talk about it, and it sucks.
And another negative too to that is, again, what we're talking about is it takes so long for them to release this next season.
Yeah.
So by the time the next season comes, you're like, I have to do a recap because I don't remember anything about the last season.
Because you watch it in 2 days, and now you got to wait
2 years.
2 years. Yeah. And they're like, they went from looking like babies to now they're adults. They have facial. What?
Yeah.
What happened? What did I miss?
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for coming on this and talking Stranger Things season 4, volume 1. But volume 2 is just 2 episodes. A
month away too. Like, why not just release them both? Like, it's not. I think it's just a little over a month. Like, it's July 1st.
It's because there's a lot of competition right now. Obi-Wan,
Miss Marvel,
and then Miss Marvel, The Boys.
Yeah. Oh yeah, season 3.
Not to mention I'm a pretty decent Star Trek fan.
Oh, that's right.
And Star Trek has Star Trek Strange New Worlds out, and that comes out once a week. That's been really, really, really good. There's a lot of good stuff. This is the golden age of television. Now, what you consider television, I don't know, because streaming services are television, but there's a lot of stuff.
Booming too, because it's not post-COVID, but it is on the tail end of it. So everything's kind of kicking back into gear, and we're getting everything that's been on delay for so long.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Top Gun Maverick, by the way, is
supposed to come out.
Well, it's already out.
Yeah.
Or we're supposed to come out like years ago.
Oh yeah.
With COVID,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
I was gonna say that it's good, and it's like a summer blockbuster.
It's very good. I was shocked at how much I liked that movie because I obviously grew up, like I watched the original Top Gun and like it's a classic.
Yeah.
But I didn't think I was gonna really love this one. And I'm never one to either kind of like, I never really like to get into the hype either. I purposely like set my expectations neutral if I can.
Mm-hmm.
Because everyone after this release was like, it's so good. And I'm like, it can't be that good, can it?
Yeah.
It can. Like it was phenomenal.
It's better than the original.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So right now we got a lot of things. So I get it. I get splitting this up into volumes, but that's why weekly episodes might be better.
Mm-hmm.
You can just kind of do a little bit of here, a little bit of there.
Because you know what releases when, like Kenobi and Miss Marvel, Disney Plus is usually on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Amazon, I don't know what days they are, but like you can release maybe like on a Thursday, a Friday, a Tuesday.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because
like,
I'm watching a lot of stuff right now.
Mm-hmm.
And like I know Young Justice, Star Trek, Superman and Lois, Flash, The Boys is out now and I haven't watched that. Like I
heard it's good.
Did you watch it, Ryan?
I watched the first 3 episodes that they dropped. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It's The Boys.
It's
definitely The Boys.
Yeah. Yeah. But thank you both of you for coming on here and talking with me and talking with the audience and whatnot about everything. Where can people find you? What do you got coming up, Ryan?
Ginger Snark on pretty much every single platform you can think of. Currently, you may know this, I do the hairstyle series where I recreate hairstyles from movies, TV shows, video games, all that fun stuff. And right now we are on a Star Wars kick. We are doing all of the Star Wars hairstyles. We just finished up the original trilogy. So I did all of Leia's hairstyles in there. And we are now moving on to the prequel trilogy. So very excited to tackle some of Padme's looks. I will say I did a few of them already, and it was tough to figure out because I'm using all my real hair and not headpieces, but it's a lot of fun. So I'm excited to share all those and keep going with the Star Wars and then finish that. And who knows what we'll do next.
Okay. Awesome. Justice, what do you got?
Well, right now, again, I'm in the process of moving. And so my content's it's still consistent, but it's not where I'm wanting it to be. I have a lot of, basically what I'm going to start doing is obviously expanding my content. I want to start experimenting more with videos, kind of still make my comedy stuff, but also incorporate regular content too, like talking videos, theory videos. I've been getting a lot of people asking if I can start making theory videos, so I'll probably start doing that. But I'm waiting until I move because I live with my parents right now. So once I get my own set up again, I shall be releasing some new stuff. So it's still a little bit uncertain right now of what that's going to look like, but I'm definitely looking forward to experimenting and see what continues to connect with people.
All right. Cool. For anyone out there who is listening or watching, definitely follow Ginger Snark and Jay Likes Comics. If you are watching us live or watching the video however, you're watching us on twitch.tv/The Keeg Show or volume.com/The Keeg Show or youtube.com/The Keeg Show. It's pretty much The Keeg Show everywhere on social media, whether it's at The Keeg Show or /The Keeg Show. We are all over the place. Our podcasts are on Google Play, SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio. We're all over the place there, wherever you get your podcasts from. And if you want to follow us on social media, our main ones are Instagram and TikTok at The Keeg Show, but we're also on Twitter and Facebook and so on and so forth. You guys can choose to follow us wherever you want to follow us. We got a lot of cool stuff coming up. Next week on the Keeg Talks, we're talking about Jurassic World Dominion. And then hopefully we're back to our normal weekly scheduled programming. Next week, Miss Marvel comes out, so we'll have the Miss Marvel after show as well as the Kenobi after show, and it'll be the first time we're having two after shows in the same week for a couple of weeks. So that'll be crazy, but a lot of cool things coming up. So definitely stay tuned to follow us on social media to find out more. But thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Justice, so much for coming on this show. And I don't know what's going to happen with those final two episodes of season 4, but you know.
I'm looking forward to it, though.
Yeah, we're looking forward
to it. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. And
literally.
Literally, yeah.
We literally will have to. We don't have a choice. Other than that, if you want to find us on patreon.com/The Keeg Show, find a tier, a subscription tier to donate to, back to the Keeg. Any little bit helps. We got tiers as small as $5 subscription. That definitely helps out the Keeg. But other than that, thank you guys so much for coming on. Thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, I'm your host, Dimitri Pereira, and this has been the Keeg Talks, Stranger Things, Season 4, Volume 1. Take care. Bye.
Super strong or super